Chapter 84: Spreading the Olympic Legacy. What is the purpose of the Olympic Games? The purpose of the modern Olympic Games is to promote peace and unity within the international community through the medium of sport. The founder, Pierre de Coubertin, saw the Games as a way to bring political enemies together. The modern Olympic Games were inspired by the ancient Olympic Games played during the Roman Empire. Those games lasted for 1200 years until about 400 AD, when the games were banned by the Roman emperor at the time. After being involved in many battles, Pierre de Coubertin had the idea that sport could act as a way to build bridges between countries. In 1890, he formed the Union of French Athletic Sports Society. 4 years later, de Coubertin proposed that the modern Olympic Games be created, and delegates representing 9 countries agreed to this plan. The first modern Olympic Games were set for 1896 at the birthplace of the ancient Olympic Games, Athens. Pierre de Coubertin formed an international committee to organize the Games, and this grouping eventually became what is today known as the International Olympic Committee. Since that time, the Games has been shared around many countries with the goal of breaking down cultural barriers and bringing people together. With thanks to history1900s.abouts.com, olympics.sporting99.com, Legacy of the Summer London 2012 Olympic Games. The future use of the Olympic Stadium and the park is the key to the legacy of the Games. The London 2012 Olympic legacy is the longer-term benefits and effects of the planning, funding, building, and staging of the Olympic and Paralympic Games. It is variously described as the following. Economic: supporting new jobs and skills, encouraging trade, inward investment, and tourism. For example, 2012 apprenticeship in broadcasting companies, including the BBC and ITV. Sporting: continued elite success, development of more sports facilities, and encouraging participation in sports or in school sports and the wider community. Social and volunteering: inspiring others to volunteer and encouraging social change. Regeneration: reuse of venues, new homes, and improved transportation in East London and at other sites across the UK. For example, the reopening of the Olympic Park as the Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park in July 2013. Tourism: the Games' long-term benefits on London's and Britain's tourism industry. The 2012 legacy is coordinated by the UK government, who appointed Lord Sebastian Coe as the Legacy Ambassador for London 2012. The London bid for the 2012 Summer Olympic and Paralympic Games included bid chairman Lord Coe placing a pledge to use the events to inspire 2 million people to take up sport and physical activity at the heart of the bid. The term legacy aims to ensure that no white elephants were created by the 2012 Summer Olympics and 2012 Summer Paralympics. The London Legacy Development Corporation is a mayoral development corporation responsible for the Olympic Park area. The phrase white elephant means a useless possession. Often, a white elephant is a burden in some way, large, difficult to store, or expensive to maintain. The story behind the phrase comes from the old transitions of Siam, Thailand. White elephants were very rare, so if the king gave one as a gift, it was an honor. However, the gift was a terrible burden to the person who received it. He had to feed and care for the elephant all throughout its life. Since the London 2012 Paralympic Games finished on the 9th of September 2012, the UK government has unveiled an updated legacy plan. Its main points include funding for elite sport until Rio 2016, investment to turn the Olympic site into the Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park, 20 major sporting events to UK by 2019, with more bids in progress. £1 billion worth of investments over the next 5 years in the youth sports strategy, linking schools with sports clubs and encouraging sporting habits for life. Introduction of the school games programme to boost school sport and county sports festivals. Continued funding for international inspiration, the UK's International Sports Development Programme to 2014. These initial plans seem to be working perfectly, as from my point of view there seem to be more opportunities available, especially in the areas surrounding the Olympic Village, including all the jobs in the Westfield shopping centre. The Olympic Games, from my point of view, is the pinnacle of any athlete's sporting career. The athlete trains for endless hours for the 4 years prior to the Olympic Games, then comes to the Olympic Games along with many other athletes. It is a lovely feeling of togetherness when everyone is competing to be the best, but also just to be a part of the same community or the same world. In Beijing, the motto was, "One world, one dream." One world, one dream fully reflects the essence and the universal values of the Olympic spirit of unity, friendship, progress, and harmony. I love these 4 words as I think they say so much. One world, one dream. Letter from HRH Prince Edward, 3rd of April 2012. Steph, hi, I understand that you would be happy to meet up with Prince Edward on the 3rd of April. HRH is the new Chancellor of the University and is President of the Paralympic Association, and has asked if he would meet some of the Paralympians that train at the Bath University. The programme is still being scheduled, but it looks like he would like to meet you at 9:30 on the 3rd, along with Ben Resgrove, Katrina Hart, and Tim Hollingsworth. Sophie Heimlich may also come, but is heavy into exams at the moment and is not sure she can make it. The idea would be to arrive at the STV, the Sports Training Village, the university at around 9:30 and meet up with you and have a chat and possibly tea. I don't think it would be any longer than an hour at the most, and the household officer will confirm the arrangements once she has talked them through with the HRH. He would need a short profile of you to send on to HRH in preparation of the visit. If you could send this through to me ASAP, that would be appreciated. I will let you know the final details as soon as they are confirmed. Kind regards, Ron Stewart, Sports Facilities Manager, Bath University. Thank you, Ron, and thank you to everyone else who works at Bath University's Sports Department. Thank you for the wonderful opportunities, such as meeting HRH Prince Edward. And thank you as well for displaying an attention-grabbing banner congratulating me on winning 4 gold medals at the IPC World Championships. Bath University have been a magnificent support for me, with tweets and good luck wishes, and I don't actually even represent Bath University when I race, although I wish I did. Maybe Bath University could take over at Chrysalis. That would be amazing. All the employees at Bath University cheer me on, and they cheer a merry welcome every single morning at 5:30 when I wander in ready for my swim. They are such lovely people, and I wish them all well. Tim Hollingsworth, the Director of Sport and CEO for the BPA British Paralympic Association, a wonderful man with whom I have become good friends, was at this meeting, and it was so nice to chat to Tim again. He is such a lovely person, always positive and always interested. He is an amazing person to work with, as Adrian and I found out on a couple of other occasions when we were presenting awards for schools. I wish Tim the best of luck for everything he takes on in his life. To have you as a friend is heartwarming. Thank you. Adrian was unable to come with me to meet HRH Prince Edward, so I invited Charlie Head, who swims at Chrysalis with me. Charlie had written and produced a speech about me for his school, which got him awarded an A grade. This inspired me, so I decided he would be the perfect person to help me with my medals. Charlie's parents were over the moon that I had asked him, and they were eager to make Charlie look smart for the meeting with royalty. They decided to buy him a brand new school jacket and shirt and tie, and he looked very dapper. They asked me what Charlie needed to do, and I said that he should just smile and enjoy every minute. If there is a step, can I have a little help? Otherwise, please just carry a number of medals and chat to everyone. Charlie did a perfect job, and HRH Prince Edward was very impressed to see a young man carrying so many medals that he went straight to Charlie to chat. Their conversations went very well, and I am certain he will always remember that moment. Thank you, Bath University Sports Training Village, for offering us this wonderful opportunity. Thank you also for displaying a stunning banner in the entrance to the Sports Training Village reading, Stephanie Millward, 4 times IPC World Champion, 100 metres freestyle, 100 metres backstroke, 4 times 100 metres freestyle relay, 4 times 100 metres medley relay. This congratulatory banner was on show for a number of months, and it made me feel so proud. Stephanie Millward versus multiple sclerosis. Considering I may have MS for the rest of my life, I have to learn to live with it and see it as a friend and not as an enemy. I need to know everything about it to see what makes it better and happier, and see what makes it sad or angry. The MS is now my friend, and we can grow strong together. I call my MS a he, because men seem to be easier generally to understand than females. If I can't understand what MS is communicating to me, Adrian, my guardian angel, may be able to help me decipher his words. I know my MS hates heat, and I know he hates humidity, but I also know he, actually probably more I, love ice cream and lasagna. Don't see the MS or other life-altering illnesses as a negative, bad thing. Try to think of these problems as opportunities. MS took a lot from me, but in some ways it has given me wings so I can fly and see everything that I ever wanted to see. It has enabled me to meet lots of people and to help many others. MS has helped me to stop taking things for granted and to cherish everything that the world is giving us. I feel I have no boundaries with my kind heart. I love giving my heart to everyone to help make their life a more wonderful place to be. I am honest and genuine and wish to help everyone. If I didn't have MS, I fear I would only have thought of me. Now I have seen both sides, the abled and the disabled sides of life. As a result, I am more humble, more experienced, and more appreciative of opinions from others. As in maths, 2 negatives make a positive, so therefore every bad thing that happens could, in some way, be a very good thing. When Adrian asked me to marry him, he also asked the MS, knowing that it may be a lifelong thing. Adrian was so strong, the 3 of us, Adrian, the MS, and me, are now in it forever. Together forever. Offering inspiration. As you have read, I've been through quite a lot of mini tragedies throughout my life, and this is why I feel the need to give back as much inspiration as I can on every occasion. If I change the thoughts or ideas of just one person, that would be good enough. Just imagine if somebody hears my story and it drives them to become something they had only ever dreamed about, but never realised was actually possible. Just imagine if someone sends me an email in 10 years' time that says, "Thank you, Stephanie. You helped me realise my dreams. I am now a GB basketball player," or "I now work as a nurse helping people. I try my hardest because that is what you always do. Thank you." What an inspiring thought. This kind of thought drives me on and makes me want to visit every school and go to all the events I possibly can. I love telling the children my story and giving them hope. Life is not meant to be easy, but the fight is always worth it in the end, and I am living proof that you sometimes get a second chance if you want it enough. Please grab that chance or that opportunity the best you can and become the superstar you have always wanted to be. Circles of life. My life seems to have been surrounded by strange circles. 1. China. I went to Shanghai, China, competing as the finale of my able-bodied perfect life, and then returned to Beijing, China, as the opening debut appearance for Beijing 2008 Paralympic Games. This was my first return, or circle. 2. Horse riding. I went horse riding once a week with friends of mine, Vicky and Sam Ty, at Bradford-on-Avon's Widbrook Arabian Stud. We absolutely loved riding and got excited after school when we went back to their house. Their mum Marilyn would plait our hair before we went to the stables. After giving up horse riding for swimming and school, and after MS entered my life, I returned with my friend Judy. We went to the same horse riding yard, Widbrook Arabian Stud, which I again loved. This was the second circle, a coincidental return to the same stables. 3. Swimming. I first started swimming in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, where my parents and the Saudi Sharks taught me how to swim. I've always been quite a quick learner, and I remember the first time I ever swam butterfly was in a race, which I won, age 5. What a great start. We then left Saudi Arabia to live in the UK because of the Gulf War in 1990. My family moved to Manchester, then Swindon temporarily, then to our perfect home in Box, Wiltshire. Wherever we were living, I would train and compete, winning swimming trophies here, there, and everywhere, an affirming experience for a young girl. While I lived in Box, I swam for Corsham ASC and then Bath University High Performance Centre, HPC. Swimming for me ended in 1999 when I fell ill with MS, but then restarted again in 2006 or 2007 when I wanted to lose weight. I then met Adrian and I moved to Swansea High Performance Centre for a life as a Paralympic swimmer. 4. Saudi Arabia. After leaving Saudi Arabia in 1990, I never expected to go back again, but swimming and the 2010 Commonwealth Games holding camp, which was in Qatar, Saudi Arabia, brought me back. Incredible. When we arrived at the airport, all the happy memories of my life in Jeddah came rushing back. I think I smiled the whole way through the camp. This is another circle I never expected to happen. 5. Bath University. When I was 14, I was a very good swimmer, winning lots of county and regional medals. So my mum asked the people in charge of the brand new Olympic pool at Bath University if I could train there with their amazing Olympic swimmers in 1996. Bath University agreed, and I started training here, but this unfortunately stopped on the 7th of May 1999 due to my multiple sclerosis. I came back to train with Aquasulis at University of Bath just after the London 2012 Paralympic Games in October 2012. The emotions on this first day were overwhelming, with incredible sadness from the last time I had been to the university's swimming pool, and also immense pride. I had fought through so much, and finally I was back to somewhere I belonged. 6. Wiltshire Swimmer of the Year. I had been awarded the Wiltshire Swimmer of the Year award twice before when I was able-bodied, and won it again in 2013 after winning medals in London 2012 and in Montreal 2013. It was so strange seeing my name imprinted on the medals from so many years ago. Now I was such a different person, but with the same name and the same love, swimming. Keep believing in your dreams always, as you never know what might happen. 8. Box, Wiltshire. Back home at last. Box has always been a wonderful place to live. I first lived in a stunning house next to Box's recreational ground while I was growing up, but unfortunately my parents divorced just after I fell ill with MS. This gorgeous house had to be sold quickly, and therefore for pennies, before my mum and I moved to Chippenham to a smaller house, and my dad moved to Radstock. This all changed again when I moved to Swansea, and my dad moved to Lincoln. It has all changed again. My mum moved to Devon to open her own business with her loving partner Nick Woodall, who is an incredible person. People who deserve it are sent angels, and I was sent Adrian, and my mum was sent Nick. All that pain was worth it in the end. Adrian and I moved to different rented properties when I moved back to Wiltshire Bath, but I felt very uneasy in all of them until quite coincidentally Mum spotted a flat in Box. Adrian and I had gone to visit our friends Sonia and Colin Bush. Colin said, "Get in my car, let's go see this flat." So we did. The owner was there too, so he let us look at both the 2 flats which were available to rent. They were both beautiful. The views were vast and picturesque. The storage space was immense, and the whole flat looked so welcoming. "Yeah, count us in. We want to stay here in Box." I waited outside the estate agents the next day for about half an hour, just so I was the first one in line to put our names down for the flat. We moved in, and both Adrian and I have felt so at home. The owners of the flat, Nigel and Sarah, are excellent neighbours. They are the kindest people we have ever met. Nigel and I tried to race to be the first to put all the bins out ready for collection on Monday morning, and it is so funny in the morning as we drag everyone's bins out. I have done my circle, leaving and then coming back to Box, and hopefully we will never leave. Box made me their Person of the Month in their newsletter and gave out awards at the Box Revels yearly celebration. I was made to feel very welcome at their get-together, which happens every Thursday between 10 and 12. I love being back in a place where I belong, with lots of loving people around me, surrounding me with happiness. My life is perfect. Since moving back to Box, I have made friends with a lot of kind and selfless people. These people are the ones who do something solely to help someone else, and not just to help themselves or to get money for it. I am surrounded by lovely people in my dream environment. I am home at last, in a place where I truly belong. 9. Karen Grant. A number of years ago, when I asked my mum to help me get a wheelchair, she took me to a wheelchair unit where they measured me and gave me a suitable wheelchair. I hated it. I hated being in a wheelchair just because of the reason for it, and so I decided the wheelchair was only going to be used when necessary. Instead, I would use the walls and other people's shoulders as my balance tools. The wheelchair was only used if I had to. I gave this wheelchair back and brought my own when I started swimming again. On one occasion, after London Paralympics, I was asked to reopen the wheelchair department. This was very strange, as I remember the first time I had been there very well. While I was opening this new initiative, I met Karen Grant, who was a lovely person. I left the event only to meet Karen again a long time later when I was invited to her children's school sports day. We have been friends since and have gone to numerous events together. Incidentally, Karen now does a lot of work with and for me and is a great support. She has 2 children, Tom and Reese. They are such angels, always carrying any medals for me or taking a bucket round Fates trying to raise money for charities. They did a catathon to raise sponsorship money to help me on my road to Rio. A catathon is where a number of people, adults and children, show the audience a number of their moves, their katas, that they had already learnt. The karate master for the patron catathon was the director or chief inspector, Nick Bevan. Nick Bevan runs his own martial arts school with many classes running during the week. Their mission statement is to promote a positive attitude towards health and fitness, to encourage people of all abilities to exercise and feel welcome in a friendly and caring environment, to exemplify humility, self-control, integrity, courtesy, and discipline. I love the way they all work together to be the very best that they can be. I watched Tom, Karen's eldest son, complete and pass his black belt for karate, and I was so impressed by how much he was enjoying it and how hard he worked for it. What a wonderful thing to learn. Nick Bevan was very kind and helpful, bringing people he knew to assist in his catathon. The catathon lasted 5 hours, and it was fascinating to watch. Karen has also taken on the role of Stephanie's agent and does a lot of chatting to people who want me to come to their events, either at their school or a presentation evening. This is so helpful as it makes my life that much easier. Thank you, Karen. Karen and I, with the help of a few other people, are organising a concert to raise money for the Amy Winehouse Foundation and myself, and for an army-related charity called Scotty's Little Soldiers, because Karen's husband Oz was in the army for 22 years. On one occasion, I was invited to go to London to attend the MS Society's annual awards in 2012, and to give out some awards which Adrian and I did. The meal was delicious, and the table I was sitting at meant I met some incredible people. When Kate Silverton, the BBC News presenter, who often presents for the MS Society, started reading out who had won the MS Inspiration of the Year award, I opened my mouth in awe. At 15, she was British record holder, all excited and training for Sydney Olympics in the year 2000. But then instead of going to Sydney, she went blind and was paralysed. I smiled. That was my life and my MS story. I had indeed won the MS Society's MS Inspiration of the Year. What an honour. I went on stage and was awarded a beautiful trophy, which I was very proud of, as I didn't expect it. I gave out another award, and when the presentation part was over, I started chatting to everyone. What an evening it turned out to be. I met a lovely woman on this event and she is like a goddess. Her name is Tessa Lush. What a wonderful name. Tessa is incredible and she is an amazing support. Tessa couldn't believe that I didn't have any sponsors. I was asked to do the introduction and instruction parts of SimTrack, which I loved watching back. We had a wonderful day of filming at Corsham's Springfield Centre, which was great fun. Thank you so much, Tessa. It is so heartwarming that I have so many wonderful, amazing friends now. Finding friends like these has been inspirational for me. One great friend of mine lives in London and is a truly fantastic compere for balls or any other charity fundraisers. This wonderful man's name is Roger Dakin, and he has connections with just about everyone. Roger raises money for all sorts of charities, and he has helped me. What an exceptional man. Another charity that I'm personally connected with is Bags for Sport, which is owned by Andy Trusler. Andy was the one who invited me to go to London with him to meet Roger in the first place. Bags for Sport is a charity that raises money for up-and-coming young sports people. I was awarded £500 to help with my costs. Through Andrew Trusler, I also met Gordon Straker, an incredible estate agent who has been such a support as well. While in London, Roger invited me to stand in front of the large room full of businessmen in suits at a business lunch, where he asked me loads of questions about my life and about the medals I had won. I stood there in my GB kit with my 5 Paralympic and 5 World Championship medals around my neck. The crowds were quiet when I said I had gone blind and was paralysed, and how I employed someone to teach me how to stand. Everyone had been listening, but one amazing man got back in touch with me after the meeting, saying that he would like to help me with my sponsorship. Simon Miller from Monopoly Network held a ball where he raised loads of money, which he split equally between me and another charity, Scotty's Little Soldiers. We went to a lunch in London where Adrian and I met loads of incredible people. Scotty's Little Soldiers and I were each awarded just over $13,000 to help with, in my case, the Road to Rio. What an amazing company and what an incredible man. Thank you, Simon. I love going to different venues and different events because I love seeing the smile on people's faces. Whenever people see the Olympic torch or the Paralympic medals, they are truly awestruck. I try my hardest to inspire everyone I meet. "They are so heavy," is a reply I got every time somebody holds my trophies or my medals. I don't think that they would be this heavy. One of my absolute greatest supports is Pak from the Hong Kong House Chinese Takeaway, which is situated in Corsham. Pat came to my Freedom of Corsham celebration and gave me a lovely bouquet of flowers and has always given me a good luck wishes for my Paralympics in Beijing and London. Pat has photos of me up on his wall in the Chinese Takeaway, and this photo is just under one of the Queen. I feel so honoured to have this amazing support. Thank you, Pat. Whenever I go to pick up a Chinese meal, there is always someone there who enjoys seeing the medals and the Olympic torch. I love his Chinese and I love his wonderful support. What have I learnt? I am seeing a psychologist at the moment, and she asked me one question. What did you lose through MS when you had the perfect life training for Sydney? Everything, was my reply. Everything. I lost my eyesight. I lost my ability to walk. I lost the control we all expect of our bladders and bowel. And I lost my memory, my dogs, and some friends. My parents got divorced. I lost my future career and my confidence and my independence. But the one thing that I could never lose was my dream, that Olympic gold medal. The thing inside my heart that could never be taken away. Look at the amazing life stories of Muhammad Ali, Gandhi, Sylvester Stallone, Pinocchio. See how they defeated adversity to achieve their dream. These are, in my opinion, the superstars I have been following. They are my heroes. A lot of people ask me who my hero in the sporting world is, and I say I don't really have one, although Mark Foster has always been inspirational to me. The reason I don't have one is because it is almost a way of limiting my chances. I want the opportunity to be the best I can be for me, and try not to be as good as any other person in particular. Another question I am often asked is, what time did you swim today? I want to swim as fast as I can. Putting a time on a swim is a way of slowing you down or limiting your chances. Believe the impossible and anything is possible. Also, open your eyes to every new opportunity. If one door closes, another one will open somewhere. Be open and excited about any change. If you lose your job, look at it as a good thing, because now you can strive for something else, and something else that you might enjoy doing. Life is for the living. I lost that easy, perfect life to make or to turn me into a nicer, stronger person, and to open up opportunities there was no way I would ever have been offered otherwise. Winning numerous Paralympic medals, carrying the Olympic torch, presenting awards at the Duke of Edinburgh Awards, winning the MS Society's Inspiration of the Year, meeting Novartis and Tessa Lush. I have experienced blindness, paralysis, heartbreak, but then pure, absolute love, devotion, and marriage. I am a lucky, lucky person. If there is a wall in your way, stopping your path, look for other ways to get through the wall, over the wall, or under it. Make life fun and exciting, as remember that every day is a new page in a new chapter of your book, and you are the author, so you are in charge. You can do anything you want to. Always look up. The world is one amazing place to be. Spread happiness. Smile.